So, here are some tips for effective communication based on whatever we have understood and discussed so far. In case it's verbal communication, you need to take care of your language. Your language not only needs to have fluency, but it also needs to have accuracy. Accuracy in terms of, like I showed you in the last video, accuracy in terms of, say, pitch, in terms of pause, in terms of intonation. If you're asking a question, it should sound like a question, not like an answer or not like a statement. In case of written communication, your punctuation marks, your spelling error, spelling, everything has to be accurate, right? Similarly, if it's verbal face to face communication, your pronunciation, your stress, all of that has to be precise and perfect and accurate so that there is no chance of a lapse or a misinterpretation in the communication process, right? In case of non-verbal face to face communication or not non-verbal, I'm just wanting you to focus on the non-verbal aspect of it. In case of face-to-face communication, your body language, your paralinguistic features need to be in sync with what you are saying. So if you're saying, I'm very pleased that I met you, you need to sound sincere, you need to sound genuine, right? You can't be distracted and at the same time say that, oh, I'm very pleased that I met you. Appropriate use of registers in written communication and also in oral. Registers are, remember we did the formal, neutral, informal scenarios where we looked at the function of invitation and we saw how our language changes, the structures we use changes depending on who the receiver of our information is. So that is register. So with my principal, I'm going to use a different register to invite him for my sister's wedding. And with my best friend, I'm going to use a different register. Right? Similarly, even in written communication, I have to take care of registers, right? Communication needs to be goal oriented. That is, you need to have a result oriented communication, which means you need to make sure that your communication is clear, it is understood by the receiver. You don't want to keep beating around the bush, right? Effective and empathetic listening is a part of good communication. You not only need to send messages effectively, you also should be able to receive messages effectively. So be open to feedback. Listen carefully. Listen to what your respondee has to say. Your verbal and non-verbal communication has to be in sync. Like I said, if you're happy, you need to smile. If you're agitated, you need to look the part. You need to vary the manner and the channel of communication depending on the receiver. So if your receiver is tech savvy, you might want to use a digital medium. If your receiver is really far away, you might want to use a digital medium if you want the communication process to happen really fast. If he or she is close by, you might want to go and personally meet them or send them a handwritten letter. It all depends on your relation to the receiver and proxemics, right? Overcoming socio-cultural barriers is a very big thing. In the process of communication, often we hold on to our personal prejudices, our biases, and that impedes the communication process, that hampers it. So if I do not like someone, for example, I have made a kind of predefined impression. I have formed that impression about that person, that whatever this person is going to say, I'm going to oppose it. That is not going to help. So these kinds and these barriers, these impediments are generally influenced by socio-cultural factors. So maybe I don't like this person because this person does not belong to my community, or because this person doesn't come from my neighborhood, or this person doesn't study in my college. So there could be a lot of these socio-cultural barriers which we need to overcome. Then sender and receiver should be uninhibited and free from fear, anxiety, and other kinds of complexes. If you have a complex, it is going to cloud your mind and you're going to fumble and falter. So you should be free of anxiety and fear.